It's that time of year again, huh? Back to school, crazy time of year. Everybody feels like this video right here, you're just running through walls from one thing to another, getting chased by dogs. So welcome, I'm glad you're here. I'm Patrick, I'm the pastor here, and I want to welcome those at Missouri City. Our Missouri City campus got great news this week, y'all. We are officially under contract for a tract of land. That's such good news, such great news. Now the hard work starts to figure out if we can actually build on it, okay? So it's not over yet, so keep praying. We're so excited for you, Missouri City. I know you're working hard down there at Elkins High School, and I hope you have a great back-to-school day today. So anyway, well, it is that, I got to say hi to my mom. Mom, can't wait to see you in October. You know, she's coming down for the quilting show. It's big time. Her and some buddies. Said they're going to be drunk all weekend. So no, don't call me mom. I'm kidding. My mom doesn't drink. Okay, sorry. She is going to kill me. Sorry. Okay, but her friends are sloshes. Okay, no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I don't even know her friends. So no, I do. Oh God, they're going to kill me. I had too much coffee today. I'm so sorry. So anyway, they're coming down. Mom, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I'm sure we can edit all this out. And I want to welcome you if you're visiting. Back to school is sort of a back to church time. It's just a crazy time. This summer has been crazy for Lisa and I. We have worked harder and done more, and it's just, we're really at our end. Have you ever felt that way? Lisa and I had sort of a holy conversation, which in preacher terms, we had a fight. It was her fault. And because I'm the anointed one. And we had this discussion this week, and here I found myself getting frustrated over something. She was frustrated, but I didn't know how to direct my frustration, so I directed it at her. And I just sort of, she did not receive that well, and it was inappropriate and all that stuff, but we just had this conversation, and I'm just being a reminder, that this whole thing that we're been working at with the Western campus and stuff that's happened, it's just a reminder that our life and our schedule right now is out of control. We've allowed this to happen to us, and the signs of that is relational, a hit on your relationships, and we're starting to feel that in our marriage and things this summer, and we're tired. And so this talk today that I want to give you is really self-serving, okay? So if you get something out of it, it's great. It's really preemptive because I know back to school, everybody's revved up, you know, you're ready to get back to school. Everybody's trying to slow down in the school zones. All that stuff's happening. Sports are going. Volleyball and football's happening. Golf's kicking off. I mean, all these sports are going on. And man, you got the schedule out, and you're trying to figure out how to work your business trips around it and all that. So you're probably got it full of energy right now. So I want to give you a talk today that you can use a few months from now when you're exhausted and tired and cussing at somebody at a stoplight, okay? When you just said, what's wrong with me, you know? And your schedule and your life gets out of control. It happens to all of us in this modern culture we live in. And it's one verse I'm really going to talk about today, so it should be a short talk. Never works out that way. But anyway, and I'm hoping it'll help our family. This is really, I really feel like as I studied this week, it's been great for me. So I hope it is for you. We're going to look at Jesus' word in Matthew chapter 11, verse 28 and 30. And this is a verse that you've heard a lot, probably around church work. You've probably heard this a lot. But you probably don't figure out how to do this. And that's kind of what I want to talk about today is this concept is nice, and it's kind of a great bumper sticker for Jesus freaks, you know, to put on your car or to put on a key ring or put on your refrigerator. It's kind of a nice concept, but I don't think Jesus gave these words to help us feel better in terms of our emotions. I think he wanted to change our lives with this concept, with this word, okay? And it puts a lot of responsibility on us, and so I'm going to read it to you. Are y'all ready for this? Missouri City, are y'all ready? Are y'all awake down there? We can't hear you. Anyway, so here we go. Here's Jesus talking. Okay, this is Jesus speaking and teaching, and he says to this big statement. Okay, so apply it to you if you can. Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Now that one sentence is really the thing he says. That's the thing he says. That's the one deal. And the rest of this that we're going to talk about is sort of gives more enlightenment to it. It gives sort of a rich depth to what he just said. Let me read it again. Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. That's a great. Let's say this out loud, okay? Because I don't think you're with me at all. Missouri City, I want to hear it from you. Here we go. Just this one sentence. Don't read on, because then we'll know you're showing off. Here we go. Come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. And you see right here some important things that we're going to come back to. Here we go. And I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. Oh, love that right there. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Now, most of you have heard this before, and I want us to stay up there for just a minute, because here's what I want you to see, a couple things in here. Have you seen this on a bumper sticker or a keychain or something? I mean, or is it just me? You don't go to Christian stores either. Okay, good. Okay, so stay away from those. It'll get you in trouble. Okay, so come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. And so here's what I want you to see, a couple important things. This isn't just a nice concept or a philosophy or a religious idea. This is a practical thing that Jesus is saying to all those who believe in him, for all the disciples, for all of you and me. If you're a follower of Jesus Christ, this is not a religious idea. This is not some philosophical feel-good. This isn't a goosebump kind of moment. This is practical instruction from our leader. You know, the one we're following, the one we believe who rose from the dead, the one that we believe is alive and well, the one that we say we have a relationship with. This statement here takes this concept of religion and throws it away and says, no, this is ultimately about a relationship. This is where we get messed up. We confuse religion with relationship, and when we do that, we forget this person, the person of Jesus Christ. We forget totally about him, and all of a sudden, our idea of a relationship with God becomes very conceptual, philosophical, religious. And we start to asking ourselves to do certain things, or good Christians ought to do things. And when Jesus talks, he talks in relational terms. And so here's a couple of things I want you to see here that is really important. Bring it back up. It says this: come to me, all who labor and are heavy laden. So here are the two categories of people he's inviting into this deeper relationship, if you will. Those who are laboring, working hard, okay, and those are burdened heavily. So there's two ways to think about it. Labor is sort of a proactive thing. We're going to work. I've been working so hard. Lisa's been working hard. You know what it's like to work those long days, day after day, without a day off, and it's just one thing after another. I mean, those of you that have jobs that are above, college age, my kids don't have the concept of this yet, but it's actually my oldest child does. He's working really hard. It's kind of like, wow, this is something that you put yourself into, this hard work kind of thing. The second piece of this is those who are burdened. This is more of a thing that's done to you, not something that you're doing, something that's done to you. It's like you have a burden in life. You have a loss, you have a difficulty, you have a challenge. Just in our church this week, we've had actually for the last 2 weeks, we've had significant loss experienced by River Point families in our church. I mean, it's just been powerful. It's just been amazing. The level of grief and the level of burden that we're dealing with. And so that's what he's talking about. So there's two kinds of people that Jesus is addressing here. And he says, those who are working really hard and you're really tired. Maybe it's the person that's working really hard and you don't think you're getting anywhere. It's not making a difference. It's just you get up and do it again. And you get up and do it again. And you get up and do it again. So that person, and the person that for whatever reason this burden has come upon them, and you feel heavy in your life, and there's this burden in your heart, and you're just like, oh wow, this something in my life, I can't get it off. A chip on your shoulder doesn't even begin to explain it. It's a backpack of pain that you've got carrying around here. So these are the two people. So if your life is going great and you got a great schedule, this probably isn't a word for you today. But pack it away because the school year is just beginning. Okay? And in just a few months, right around Christmas or Thanksgiving, this is going to mean something to you. It means something to us today, my wife and I, because we've worked so hard this summer. And here's what Jesus says. I know I hate to be so Captain Obvious here, but here it is. I went to seminary for this right here. He says, go back. There you go. He says, come to me. That's it. Come to me. Now, why is this so strange? This is so strange because, I'll just use me, because you look like you got it all together. And we all know the people in Missouri City have it all together. But I spend a lot of my time praying for God to help me in my work, to give me strength so I can continue this ridiculous schedule. And I spend a lot of time asking God to remove this burden from me. So I have a solution for my problem when I'm heavy burdened and I'm laboring hard. And the solution is, God help me do better under those circumstances. And God's got a completely different prescription for you and for me. This is what was so revolutionary to me. It wasn't that I need to work smarter. It wasn't that I need to be a better time manager. It wasn't that I need to sort of process the burdens of my life. All that may be important in some process, but ultimately for me, what it came down to is these three words: come to me. That Jesus, this person I believe is alive and a friend that sticks closer than a brother, is inviting me into a better relationship. And the thing that reminds me of my need of that is my burdens and my work. That's what's reminding me of it. I mean, I forget I need God. And I get so screwed up in this, guys. Listen, this is absolutely honest. Because I'm in ministry and pastor work, so I think I'm supposed to do a lot of this stuff. And I just think God's supposed to give me strength. There are seasons. Listen, I don't believe in a balanced life. I think it's not a biblical concept at all. I hear people say that all the time. Well, my life's still out of balance right now. I don't believe that's a biblical concept. I believe there's a rhythm to life. And I believe there are some seasons in life that are very difficult and heavy and busy. But if all your seasons are like that, you're messed up, okay? There's something, now I hit somebody, didn't I? You're totally messed up. You know, if every season of your life, if you're working for some fantasy that one day you'll have better control over your time and effort, you're living in a fantasy. I've lived in that fantasy. I've had my wife and children look at me and go, when will you be home? You know, when? Well, I've just got to do this. And there's these important things that happen that you just feel like are a call from God for you to engage in. And what I want you to see today, what I want you to see is you've got to heed these words when you're heavy laden and burdened and stressed and frazzled and your relationships are paying the price and you're depressed. That's what happens to me. I just get depressed. And then when I get depressed, I work harder because I want to get out of this thing. So I'm working harder. And so this is the invitation that Jesus has given because we forget how much we need him. And it is that burden and that labor that says, oh, I need God. Here's the bad news. I don't know. I don't know how you pray. I don't even know if what I'm about to say is right. Mostly because I don't know what I'm about to say. And but here's the truth. I believe this is true. I don't think God is as interested in giving you strength to work harder and to bear the burden more as he is interested in you coming and hanging out with him and being with him. I heard a few amens. Can I get an amen? Amen. Oh, now we're going to have church. Okay, good. How about that? Down there in Mo City, you having church down there? That's what I thought. Here's what I think. This is my screwed up thinking, y'all. When I became a Christian, I thought, oh, this is great. God's on my team now. Oh, my voice cracked. God's on my team now. This is awesome. God's on my team. I've got like the all-star quarterback. Man, when I get tired, I'm just going to call him in. Come on. Oh, that's baseball. Sorry, I was using a football deal. But going to get him in on the team. I got the all-star deal. And listen, here's what I've realized as I've grown up in this deal and developed my own faith and studied my Bible. God's not on my team. I'm on his. It's a completely different idea. Because I thought when God's on my team that I'm going to prescribe my day and schedule my time, and I'm going to overschedule myself and get overburdened with all this stuff we got going on. Year-round sports, Ain't got no more amens, do we? Kind of ran out of amens. I was in year-round volleyball of the devil. That's what it is. And you dads out there, year-round baseball, I'll pray for you. I don't have kids anymore, so I can throw some rocks. Anyway, so it's that idea where it's like I can prescribe my day and fill it up, and God's on my team, so he's going to come in, and he's going to give me strength, he's going to give me this vitality, and I'm going to be super Patrick, hey, and I'm going to be able to walk on water and do everything because God's on my side. And guess what? I realize, quite frankly, that I'm as human as everybody else, and I get tired like everybody else, and God doesn't give me supernatural strength. God is wanting to be supernatural in my life. There's a difference. And God may be on your team in the sense that he loves you and he wants to fellowship with you and he wants to hang out with you and commune with you, but he's wanting you to join what his agenda is for your life. He's not as interested in joining yours. That's the bad news. So this is the invitation. Come to me. How do you do that? You get up in the morning and you start talking to God. You just talk. I have ADD real bad. Have y'all noticed that? And when I'm on caffeine, man, I am jacked up, So, this is Christian drugs right here. And if I sit down and have this what's called a quiet time, man, I'm overhauling the lawnmower before I know it. I don't even know what happened. I was praying one minute, and I got to go do that. So I got to walk, exercise. I got to be active. It's funny. Here's a crazy thing about me. If you call me on the phone, and we get into a long conversation, which is really rare because I don't like talking on the phone too much, but sometimes I have to talk a long time. This is so strange. I'm totally revealing something to you now, but and my wife will verify this. This is absolutely true. I go outside in my backyard and start weeding the flower beds as I'm talking because it's the only way I can focus on what you're saying. I need help, don't I? That ain't right. That ain't right. I'm back there. She goes, man, I wish that conversation would have gone longer. You almost got done. And I go, yeah, I know. But I do. I go out there, and in long conversation, oh, man, I have to do something to keep my mind engaged with what's going on. So I know that about me. So you hear a lot of talk in church about, well, you got to sit down and have this quiet time. Listen, I tried to do that. Man, I just can't. So what I do is I get up and go, God's been waking me up early. So I get up really early, 4:30, 5 o'clock, and I'm really better in the morning than about 9:30, man, I'm done. And I get up and I start talking, walking, thinking. I got to have something going on so I can have this conversation with God. And I do look at my calendar, and I say, God, here's my calendar today. There's some people on there I do not want to meet with. And if I could get some sort of virus right now, that'd be great. But okay, so I'm going to meet with him, and I start this conversation with God. That's the idea of coming to him. That's the idea of before you sign up for that thing, before you volunteer for that thing, before you commit yourself to that thing, you say, hey, I need to go to the restroom. You go to the restroom, you lock yourself in there, and you say, God, I'm about to commit myself for the next 2 or 3 months, and I need wisdom. I want to do this so bad, but man, if this ain't good for my family, if this ain't good for my health, if this ain't good, man, they're up there at the church house begging for volunteers, and I want to help. So I'm including church work too, guys. I'm not just including that, and I want to make sure that's coming to him. In other words, you want to check with the boss. You want to check with the one that you say is leading you. Instead of getting all in and you're up over your head, and you ask God to rescue you. Now, God will rescue you. He's full of grace and mercy and patience, and God never runs out of that. He will rescue you. But it's so much better when by faith you come to him and say, God, I really want to follow you, and I want to do this thing, but I don't know. And he's going to tell men, here's what we're going to tell you. Call your wife. That's what he's going to say. It's a voice from the Lord. Call your wife. I knew a guy one time, this is not a lie, who joined the army and signed up for a hitch in Alaska and did not check with his wife. Oh my gosh. He comes home and says, guess what I did today? I joined the Army. We're moving to Alaska. Oh, she's 7 months pregnant. Just when I thought I was dumb, I got friends like that, you know? Makes me feel so much better about my situation, you know? I can't believe it. Well, they went to Alaska. They've been married like 35 years, so it worked out. But it's that idea of come to me. Check with me. And here's how it works out. Come to me who are labor and are heavy laden, and I'll give you rest. This rest, this ideal, I'll give you a reprieve. I'm going to put you at ease. You see, that frantic nature that I've been going through these last couple of weeks, and the one you're going to go through in a few months as your kids start school and this pace, because you don't really control your schedule, do you? Your kids control your schedule. I mean, that's the way that works. And so when you get all crazy, what he's promising, if you'll come to him, he'll give you rest. That's the idea here in this verse. You'll come to him, he'll give you rest. In other words, all that anxiety and all that craziness that you're feeling in your soul and that being unnerved, all that the fact that you're on edge and you have this sense of something always being unresolved, it's something more to always do, it robs you of this beautiful thing that we call contentment. And you can't live in the moment anymore. This is the rest that Jesus is talking about. Now notice what he says here, or what he doesn't say might be better. He doesn't say, come to me and I'll give you strength and I'll take the burden away so that you can persevere, so that you can do more and more and more. No, he says, no, come to me and I'll be the source of your rest. That's what he's saying. I'll be the source of your rest. Now, have you ever thought about a relationship with Jesus that way? And I've always thought of Jesus as my superhero, my friend, my forgiver, all the theological concepts that are true, that's true. But it's hard for me to think about him as one who provides rest. In our culture, in this culture, in Fort Bend culture, I tell you this, we so value success and money that we think that's God's agenda for our life. And we so undervalue this ideal of the Sabbath and of rest. Every single person here and every person in Missouri City and every person watching me is busy, overly busy. And somehow we use that, I'm talking about me now, so don't feel offended. We use that as some sort of badge of honor. I feel totally irresponsible when I'm sitting back, hanging out, doing nothing. I don't know why that is. I'm praying about it. You know, since I got back from my sabbatical, which it was 3 months of doing nothing, and I got totally used to this rest. It was so great. Since then, I've come back. The first year back, I had a great rhythm to my life. And something happened this summer that just some crisis, some problems in my family, a death in my family, and the opportunities that we've chased. And it's just like, I'm so tired. I want that rest. And here's what most of us want, if you're going to be really honest. We're not really asking God to give us rest. What we're asking God is to resolve our problems. Because we believe that if God resolves our problems, we'll have rest. And maybe, here's the supernatural part of this whole thing, maybe God's not going to ever resolve the problem you think he ought to resolve, but yet you can still experience rest. Because you think the thing that's keeping you from rest is that burden or that labor. But maybe it's possible, supernatural, only God could do something like this. He can provide you a rest that's not hinging on your circumstances, that you can have enough faith to slow down and to trust him, to stop, to believe in him, that this presence of him will be the rest that you need. That's the way it is. That's good? Oh, that's good. Thank you. Must be the coffee. And but here's how it works. You know how this is. We've had some families in crisis. Some deaths in our church. And here's what you always see in a situation like that. You see everything else in life becomes immediately less important in light of this death. We had a dad taking his daughter to college just this last week in a horrible car wreck, and he passed away. His daughter survived, and I was able to drive up to Temple to be with his family. And we sat in that waiting room of that hospital just crying, and what I just valued is the comfort they got from each other, just being together, and the problem was significant and real and wasn't going away, and yet there was a peace and a rest because of the presence of the people in the room. And that's what Jesus wants to provide for you with his presence in your life. That everything else may not go away, but he's there. And that's all that matters, that he's there. Sometimes, I know being married as long as I've been married, I can go through anything as long as my wife is with me. I don't want to go it alone. I don't have enough faith for that. But my wife being with me, I'm going to be okay. Because she has a lot more faith than I do, and she's aggravatingly positive about every situation. It's annoying and so helpful for a negative, cynical guy like me. And her presence, y'all hearing this? Her presence in my life is what I need. And somehow, with Jesus, what happens in our sophisticated manner is we start trying to push the buttons and get him to act instead of getting him to be in our lives. We need more from him. We need him to do something. And what he wants to do is show up. He wants to show up in your life so you can be with him and be present with him. So when I get up in the morning and start having this conversation with him, I have to remind myself of this. I have to say, God, I know you're right here with me. I know you know how tired I am. This is my recent prayer in my journal. I wrote, you know how fatigued I am. You know how on edge I am. So I need your presence, just like this word said, to really give me rest. And I'm telling you, maybe it's for the sermon, I don't know, but I felt better. I felt like God's presence in my life has allowed me to do a couple of things. And it was really, really great. And there's more to this. He says, I'll give you rest. Then he says, take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart. And you will find rest for your souls. That's the deepest rest of your life. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. Here's the contrast in this verse I want you to see. That God's yoke is easy and light compared to the labor and the heavy burden that we're dealing with in life. So he's wanting us to make a transaction and trade our heaviness and our burden and our difficulty with his yoke. And it's a picture of two oxen being yoked together to do work. And it's the picture that one oxen's quite large and really doing all the work, but a younger oxen, this is what they did to train the oxen, is that a younger oxen would be put with this older oxen, and that younger oxen, although not doing any of the work, would learn from the older oxen how to pull the oxen, how to work together. And so that's the picture, is that we're tethered together with Christ. And it's a picture of being submission. It's a picture that God holds the yoke in our life and he controls the direction of our life. So when you come to me, you that are burdened and heavy laden, and you put on this yoke, that means you surrender to God's will for your life. He'll begin to get you to make decisions and direct your lives in ways that you never dreamed that he would direct your lives, because you are going to be submissive to him. It's his will, not your will. It's this idea of I'll do whatever you want me to do. And God says, well, great, I'm glad you're tied in here. Let's go. And this yoke, this picture of our life. And so it will help you say no. It'll help you. Blame it on God. It'll freak people out. Oh, no, man, I can't help you with that. Why not? God won't let me. You better pray about it. Let me take it up with him. I'm yoked to him. Don't do that. You'll be so creepy, man. Nobody will even come to your house for Halloween. You don't want that. You don't want to be that guy. But that's the idea. That's the idea of saying, I can't do it. Every need isn't a call for me. It's just not. What the hardest thing is for me is we had another death in our church this week, and I couldn't do anything about it because I was tied up in this other thing. But our pastoral staff, really a small group, ministered to the Rebler family. I called Tom today and said, Tom, I'm sorry I haven't been over the house, but I've been busy with this other thing. He said, don't you worry about it. Listen, the church has showed up for me, ministered to me, brought us food. We're well taken care of. We got it. I was so grateful for that I'm not responsible for everyone. We have a church of 5,000 people, and people get mad. Well, you didn't even come see me in the hospital. I said, I know, I was playing golf. How's that make you feel? You know what I mean? I don't know really what else to say. What were you doing on Monday? Well, Monday's my day off, and I usually play golf, okay? And it's like, I was in the hospital. I said, well, listen, if I come see you at the hospital on Monday, you're a lot sicker than they're telling you. Because that's the only reason I'm coming up there. You're not going to make it. You know, you see me show up on Monday and it's like, oh no, the pastor's here. They said I was going to be fine. And I'll walk in, you ain't going to be fine, brother. I'll be in my golf hat and my shoes and shorts because I got a tea time to get to, you know? I got to run. And because we have people come see you on a Monday, it just won't be me, you know? And you got to deal with that. And I got to deal with you dealing with that. Everybody happy? Good. Because I just want to get that clear. Because I have showed up on Monday. They go, am I that sick? And I go, yeah, you are, brother. I'm going to say, you think I'm going to die? I don't know, but I got to run. And, you know, here's the deal, man. We're a family, and I can't take care of 5,000 people. I know everybody wants the senior pastor to do something. I just can't do it, and it's hard for me to say no to you. And I've had to grow a lot to say, God, do you want me to do this? You want me to be part of this? And I say no. It's hard for me because I want to be your hero. I want to show up for you. You know, I'd show up plenty, but I just can't show up for everybody all the time, and you can't either. And you got people pulling at you all the time. If you're not careful, they're going to wreck you. And so the idea is to be tethered to the Lord, and He directs your steps. He leads your paths. He shows you the way, the truth. You know, here we go. God, is this what you want me to do? And you'll create what's called a margin to operate in. And we so operate on the edges of our life. We have no margin to operate in. So if God told you to do something, you couldn't do it. You don't have time. You don't program in that downtime. You need to. It's that idea. So the yoke he's talking about, this idea of being easy and light, this idea is that God's in control of my calendar, my schedule, my life, my passions, my vision, my ambitions, my direction, my schedule, everything. And he's going to that doesn't mean your life's going to be easy. He's going to say, you're going to see God's presence in your life in such a supernatural way that it's going to allow you to see Him at work before you ever get there. And all of a sudden, there's this power, a supernatural power, that you're not living just by the natural anymore, this natural way of living. There's this supernatural way of living where God is directing your steps. And the most important thing, and I'll finish with this, he says, and if you'll be yoked to me, where is it? Heavy laden, take my yoke upon you and learn from me. And then he describes himself as gentle and meek. So this is a discipleship process. This is what we define at River Point as spiritual growth. Is when you become in your character more like Christ. That there's something about you're learning from Christ. And there's this relationship that's so relevant and real that you're picking up on His values, on what He wants for you, and you're changing slowly, but you're changing day to day, and you're growing in the things that you were involved in last year. You're not involved in because God's got a new plan for you, and something great's happening in your life that you never even planned on because you allowed God in the margins that you've created to operate something in your life that you couldn't have put there on your own. And all of a sudden, there's this power in your life that you walk. It doesn't mean you don't have hard days or long days. There's that rhythm. But it just means that God is directing your steps. And we're getting back to a family meeting where we say, hey, what's the next 3 months look like? Well, for me, because of the church, the next 3 months looked pretty busy. And the last 3 months looked pretty busy. So I'm going to steal some time away so I don't go crazy, and my wife likes staying married to me. And I'm going to come back in just a couple of weeks ready. And we just got a busy schedule coming up. So then we got Christmas and then the new year. So and we're merging with the church. We got all this stuff going on. So I'm asking God, and this idea of coming to him is to make sure that I prioritize my family, my relationship with him first, my family, and then my work. And I'll just confess, I haven't done that well. I've been too busy asking God to help me be a supernatural pastor. And now it's just time to get back to the basics. So as you start this new school year, this is the beginning for most of us. You got more to do than you'll have time to do. So don't ask God for more time in the day. You're not going to get it. He's not going to answer that prayer. But ask him to direct your steps. Come to me. That's the question. The person of Christ. Come to me. That's the application of this sermon today. Say it with me. Ready? Come to me. That's what he wants for your life. He wants you to approach him at the beginning of the day and say, God, here I am. I've come to you. I've taken the initiative. It's funny how God puts the responsibility back on us, that your life gets out of control, but it's not his fault. It's yours. So when you say, come to me, God, my life, my day, just live, my next hour is yours. Direct my steps. And let's see what God does with that. All right? Let me pray for us. We'll have a great year, okay? Father, thank you so much that you have a plan and you're sovereign and you're good and you want the best for us. And all that I've said today, I'm not advocating in any way, God, as you know, to be lazy or to try to find an easy life. We want your life for us. We want to follow you, God. We want to be obedient. We want to be tethered to you in such a way that you're the one in control and we're the one that's submissive. And so often we just want you to be the supernatural power that enables us to do all the things we dream up to do. And I know some here share my exhaustion. And I pray, oh God, that you would give us rest. That your presence would be enough. Our circumstances probably won't change, but your presence will be enough to give us deep soul rest. That we can enjoy life and have contentment in our hearts because you're with us. And just take a minute right now as you pray. Here in Missouri City both, just pray. God, here I am. What would you have me do? I surrender my life, my day to you. Show me the way, and I'll follow you. Father, thank you that you're that interested in our daily life. May we depend on you just like that. We pray all this in Jesus' name.